Okay, Aisha, let's see how you did on your first writing assignment. Um, First of all, let me just turn on my pen. Okay, so there's your title. Iceberg. Actually, you want to say clinical iceberg, because otherwise you think you're reading about snow or ice in the ocean, okay? A great number of people are considered as healthy or normal, which means that they have no evident abnormality. However, there is a considerable group of people in any population who wait. Okay, is this a separate paragraph? Why do you have a space here? Okay, have any apparent abnormality, but they are regarded as people at the highest risk of developing a disease later. Okay, so you have a little grammar mistake here. Okay, also, okay, so you're just defining healthy and unhealthy. I think you're using a lot of vocabulary and words here to do that. This is because they have some distinguishing features. Okay, so you're describing the illness here, but from what I can see here, you're not really describing the iceberg. So your title is iceberg, but you really haven't started distinguishing that, okay? This is because they have some distinguishing features like overweight or performing some bad habits. Okay, performing is the wrong word. They have some bad habits, okay? Another group have already been in some risky morbidity state. Okay, so not another group, but the next group, really. Okay, but there is no obvious signs of disease. Diphtheria is a clear example of this, which cause. Okay, so now you're defining the disease, which is okay, but remember these are medical students, so you might not have to do that, right? Okay, so I'm not sure if you need that, okay? And that can be more severe in developing arteriosclerosis. Okay, again, you're adding information here that maybe wasn't in the original, and also you don't need in this paraphrase. Remember, it's selective paraphrasing. So I think this is a good example, Aisha, where you might lose a mark, yeah, because you have extra information here. So be careful. Moreover, a small group may have no apparent symptoms, but while patients are examined, it shows that they have signs of a disease. Okay, that's good description of the group, but again, doesn't fit with the iceberg, right? These people have a preclinical disease, as it is said. Now, all the groups are in the... Okay, why do you have brackets here? A bracket means that you don't need this information. Yeah, that I should be able to read the sentence without what's in the brackets. Okay, so let's just try to do that. Now, all these groups are in the part of the iceberg. What part? Yeah, so you got to get rid of those brackets or quotation marks or whatever. Next is the visible part, and it is... Okay, so this is the first time you really mentioned the iceberg, so I'm a little confused, you see. You should have started off the article about that, okay? Now, all these groups are in the invisible part of the iceberg. This is new, the iceberg idea. I've never heard of the iceberg until this point, okay? Next is the visible part, and it started with the people who are most likely to expose themselves for treatment. Okay, I think there's a grammar mistake. We don't say expose themselves. That actually means something quite different. It means to be naked. Okay, so sorry, but I have to laugh. Okay, and with clinical hospital, depending on the seriousness of their symptoms, this group has notable signs and symptoms of the disease. Okay, so this is rather wordy to say everything that you've already said. You've actually sort of repeated yourself here. So I think you need to slim this down a little bit, yeah? I can tell that you're already over the word count, yeah? Okay, so let me just zoom in here. The final group is the tip of the iceberg, good, and it has the most miserable conditions. Okay, this is sort of an informal way of saying this miserable. You know, people are dying. It's a little bit more serious than miserable. and it contains those who have a disease and are very, so grammar mistake here, have a disease and are developing stages that reach a serious phase of dying. Okay, you don't need to have process here, yeah? Okay. Okay, so I'm afraid, Aisha, the problem is here that you are not on task. Yeah, you are not writing about the iceberg. You're not explaining this to medical students. I can't tell this is to medical students. I can't see this is in a newsletter. So, yeah, we need to work on this. Your writing's quite good. It's just that you didn't meet the task at all, right? So I hope this is clear now, and I hope that the next one you're gonna do much better on. Good job.